Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the CDC Experience Podcast. I am Sartora Schumann Smith, and I'm your host for today. And with us here on the podcast, I know you all always hear me say that these people are my friends, or I'm so excited to have this person here with us today. But this person here today is my friend, one of my role models, one of my sheroes, and just somebody that I have the greatest amount of respect for just because she is a superstar. So help me welcome today LaQuinda Brewington.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. LaQuinda is a very soft-spoken, quiet spirit, and here I am with this loud personality. But we're going to have a great time talking about a lot of things. LaQuinda is, I'm going to describe you as superhero. You are an entrepreneur. You are a wife. You are a mother. You were recently getting out of corporate America.
Yes.
You have created a movement, which we will talk about later. You have a successful business, podcast, a whole lot of stuff. And so we're going to try to use the time that we have to tell everybody about the amazing work that you do here. And we've been knowing each other, and we never can figure this out.
Never.
Where, when, how long. But it's been a very, very long time. Very long time. And I'm just happy that I can say that I'm a part of your world.
Same.
So thank you for that. So LaQuinda, I called it today a movement. She has created a while back now a business consulting firm called SisterLadyGirl. Right. And I never like to say it as it's spelled. It's SisterLadyGirl, but I like to say SisterLadyGirl. Yeah. Because I'm quite sure that's how people are hearing it, and I think that brings some emotion to it, some feelings to it. So tell me where you were in your life when SisterLadyGirl began to manifest in you and then became a reality.
Sure. Well, funny enough, I was going through what a lot of women in their mid to late 40s go through, because I started feeling like I had been in corporate America by this point going on 20 years.
Okay.
And so I had reached a certain level, and I was asking myself at that point, okay, what now? Where do I go now? And I was struggling because I did not see the path. As young women, our roadmap is pretty much laid out for us by our parents. We're told what to do, where to be a wife, and so it's pretty much laid out for us what we should do as young women. And then as we become older women, they put us on this path like, okay, you're about to sunset, so we're going to set you out to pasture and look at grandma and bring you a plate and all the things. But there in the middle, there's nothing. And so I started wondering, like, what should I be doing right now? And there was no framework. And so that's how the whole idea of SisterLadyGirl got started, because I didn't see what I needed. And so I created it through these various frameworks to help me get through this middle period where everything was looking so fuzzy to me.
And I know all too well about that middle journey. And it's interesting to hear you talk about mid-40s. And it's like, oh my, where does that leave me? Because I've sailed out of that zone. So for women 50, for women 60, because people think that after a certain age or a certain stage that there's no value anymore.
Right.
That women become devalued. Or, okay, we've gotten enough from you. Or like you said, well, let me put Nana over here in her place here. And just do something. Just stay out of her way, but do something. So when you talk about reinventing yourself, how difficult or how easy is that for you to show someone how to do?
I think that it has become easier over time. Reinvention has become easier over time because I've been able to put frameworks in place and show women like what the roadmap actually looks like, what you should be focused on if you are in the midst of a transition, because that's really what it is. Reinvention is really a transition from one thing to the other. And it doesn't have to be big, it can be small. But, the one point that I wanted to make, you said about, women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, age, the number, that's just chronology.
Yes, exactly.
And, there are women who are 70 that I work with. And they're still doing their thing. They still have dreams. They still have goals. And that is what Sister Lady Girl is all about, is helping them bring those dreams and goals to life. Because as women, we haven't necessarily had people telling us that that was possible for us. So through the frameworks that I have, through the training that I have, I'm able to share and show, because I count myself as being the model, because I'm walking this road right along with the people that I'm working with. And so I am her. And so I'm able to show them through these frameworks how it's done.
I think that's a very good point that you made. And as you were talking, I think about those commercials for, like, and I don't want to say the brand, but those soaps and those creams and those products for anti-aging. There's no anti-aging. I'm going to age. There's a healthy aging. There's a graceful aging. But when I look at the models for those commercials or those ads, I'm saying to myself, why is this 16-year-old girl trying to sell me an anti-aging product? You haven't been where I've been. You aren't here where I am. So that's not even a sell for me.
Right.
But when I hear somebody like yourself, and you just revealed to me your age, I had no idea. So it's like, okay, I have 10 years on you, but it's like, okay, she gets it. She does understand. At some point in time, somebody may have dismissed you, or made you feel that you'd given all that you can give, and you might as well just, again, find your little spot in the corner and be content with that. But there was something you mentioned earlier, talking about that feeling next level ready, but not next level supported.
Right.
Tell me more about that.
Sure. Well, when I talk about being next level ready, that's women who are doing all the things, right? Like I said, we have a very defined pathway when we're younger women. You go to school, you do all the things, you get the man, you have the children. So your pathway is very much defined. And so when you do all the things and you've gotten all the education, but you're not supported in that when you're ready to be supported, that's what I'm talking about, because you've gone through all of this training, you've gone through, life training, professional training,
Yes.
and you've reached a certain level and you've gotten to a point and you're looking around for the opportunities. The opportunities are not there. So your ability to do all the things kind of outpaces the opportunities that exist. So that's what I mean when I say, you may be next level ready, but there's not the next level support there for you. So in my case, when I was in corporate America, I was doing all the things. I was taking all the trainings. I even went back to school and got my master's degree.
I remember that.
And I still think that that was a great decision for me, because it all compounds over time, right? I think that was the right thing to do for me. But what I didn't do was I didn't ask myself the honest questions. I didn't look around my organization and see who was moving. Was there movement? Was there space for me? If I did all this stuff, if I went to school, going to school is expensive.
It is.
Even when they pay for part of it, you still have some culpability in it. You still have to pay for some of it. And so those are things that I didn't take into consideration. Like, once I get my master's degree, where do I fit? Is there a space for me? And so there wasn't that support. But at the end of the day, I feel like nothing is for nothing. I tell my daughter this almost every day.
I like that.
Nothing is for nothing. And I got the degree because I needed to understand how to create frameworks so that I could move my life from here to there.
And I also think that being that type of prepared, the next level prepared, it's a part of it becomes a part of your portfolio. And it also, for me, allows people not to give me excuses that, oh, well, we're actually looking for someone who has a master's degree. Well, I have it. We were actually looking for someone who's done a podcast before. Oh, I have. So it's almost like a security vault. Like, I have everything that you said I should have. So now what?
Right.
So that's that for me. That would be, you don't want to give it to me? I'll go out and get it. I wish the audience could have heard what we were talking about prior to recording, but make sure that you guys follow us on all social media platforms. You can always go to the website at cdcoftampa.org to see previous podcasts, to get information about all of the wonderful things that we're doing, and to see guests like LaQuinda talk about pertinent things to business owners, to women, to men. So again, I'm so happy to have LaQuinda Brewington here of Sister Lady Girl. So now I want to talk about something else. And I told you and another colleague earlier today, I love when I know people who are like super. And I knew you when you were super LaQuinda. Now I know when you're like superwoman LaQuinda. And so when people are at a certain space in their life, it's like, for some reason, I see greatness. And it's like, I need to latch on to her because she's just going to be that person. I'm like, oh, I know her. And I hope you know that I'm sincere about that. I just think you're an amazing person. And you started something, and that's another movement that you created. You created an event called the Second Act Summit. And tell us about the Second Act Summit.
Well, the Second Act Summit is really an extension of Sister Lady Girl, right? I have spent a significant amount of time just talking to women in midlife and just trying to help them understand the possibilities, because we have been conditioned over time to believe certain things about ourselves. When we reach this age, in midlife, in the middle of our career, this is a time for us where this is the most expensive stage of our lives.
Absolutely.
And yet, this is also one of the stages of our lives where we are the most vulnerable. We need that support. We need someone pouring into us. We need structure. And so that's what the Second Act Summit is all about. It's about bringing together women and being able to say, hey, sis, I see you. I see how hard you're working. I see what you're doing. I see what you're trying to bring to life. And we want to celebrate you. We want to support you. We want to put a community of loving arms around you so that you don't feel like you're alone when you're doing this. And so the Second Act Summit has been going on for 5 years now.
Okay. I was going to ask, when did it start? Okay.
Yes. So we actually started online, if you can believe it, because we started in 2021. That was the first event that we had.
So right after the pandemic. So yeah.
Yeah. So we were all online. And the first event drew 500 registrations, over 500. Yep.
Your first time out. First time doing that.
Nobody knew who I was. I didn't know anybody, but I knew in my heart of hearts that there were so many women like me. There were so many other women who felt alone, who felt like they had more that they wanted to do, but there was no structure around it. There was no framework around it. So when you don't have that, it's hard to envision your vision without that structure being around it. So a lot of what I do is proving. It's proving that this will work. So if it didn't work, if there was only 2 people that signed up, then that's not a good idea. But 500 people
Okay.
registered,
Okay.
and I said, you know what? This is a good idea.
And I think as difficult of a time as that was right after the pandemic, that was a time for reinvention. Everybody was going crazy as to how to reinvent yourself. So that was perfect timing, whether you believed it or not, because the numbers showed you. But LaQuinta, I do believe, I think we probably talked past the time frame because our producer is giving me that signal. But I would love for you to share quickly, how can people follow you? Where can they reach you? How does somebody get to harness some of all of that greatness that you have to give?
Absolutely. Well, I have a website, SisterLadyGirl.com, and I am at SisterLadyGirl on all platforms. So you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. I'm also on LinkedIn at SisterLadyGirl as well.
So you heard Sister Lady Girl, LaQuinta Brewington. And again, I am Satura Schumann-Smith. And thank you so much for joining us on the CDC Experience podcast. You can always find us at cdcoftampa.org and all social media platforms.